So here we have a full-scale Bellows pocket completed in terms of seam allowance. So if we follow the outside line, that would be the cutting line. There are some original guidelines in here as well. So what we're going to do is look at how we cut that pattern over here. It's quite a large pattern piece, so it's just about not fitting onto the screen. So I'm going to do this one a little bit smaller than that one, but we'll discuss the right kind of measurements for that. So this one over on this side, the pocket mouth is about 16 centimetres wide, so that's why it's quite big in terms of how much space it's taken up. So we're going to do this one a little bit smaller, just so that you can see everything on the screen. So the first measurement we're going to use for this is going to be 12 instead of 16. So this is actually quite small for a Bellows pocket. I wouldn't go this small normally. I would keep it at about 15 to 16 centimetres. This is where you put your hand in. And then we need to decide how deep we want the pocket. It doesn't have to be a perfect square if you don't want it to be. It can be an oblong, it can be irregular. As long as we are getting 90 degrees at all of these corners. So this measurement are the same, this measurement and this measurement are the same, but they don't, this length and this length don't have to be the same. Normally this is longer so that you can put more in it. So that's the first stage, that's the net shape. And then what we have over here with these pink lines are the fold lines for the Bellows, the bit that actually makes it 3D. And those lines are 2 centimetres two. So I'm just going to rule all of those in. Take your time with this so that you don't end up with wonky lines. Be aware that this piece of paper is stuck down and below it the squares aren't all lined up. So this represents the press line for pressing later. Now above this, we're going to put the grown-on facing on, and I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger than 2 centimetres. I'm going to make it 2.5. So this is the bit that folds in so that you don't see a raw edge. And so that means it would be stitched down from the outside with the top stitch when it goes in. At the moment this doesn't have any seam allowance on it, but we will put that on. We have these corners here. These are 45-degree corners, which make the pattern really work as a 3D pocket. So they are going at 45 degrees. That's easy to find on the Pattern Master because there's a 45-degree on there. But what we are aiming for is this measurement, 2, is the same measurement up here. So that's 45. That's 45. And rinse and repeat. And so we'll do the same on the other side. Like that. So this, let's do this in blue now. The blue line along is the edge of the pattern before seam allowance is added. And seam allowance for this will be 1. Some people might find 1.5 easier, and some people actually go down to 0.5 in here to avoid bulk. So those pink lines are not part of the pattern on the end, so they'll cut out. So that would be the basic shape of the Bellows pocket. We could, in the middle of the pattern, we could cut through and open the pattern out, and we could add in a box pleat, or we could put pleats on either side. That would involve either drafting this with the box pleat inside it, so it's even longer, or you could slash through and add the box pleat in, which is easier if you're doing it for the first time, but most people would draft it within it. Then there is another part of the pattern that we haven't done yet, and we'll use this pocket mouth measurement, and we will draw it down here. And that is the pocket flap. So if the pocket mouth is 12, we will make this 13. Basically, we are making it 1 centimetre bigger. By the time the pocket mouth sits over the top of the pocket mouth, and this is a 3D pocket and it's moving in and out, we'll want a bit of extra coverage at least. So we'll make it at least 1 centimetre bigger. And then we need to decide how deep we want to make it. I'm going to make mine about 4 centimetres, 4 to 5 maybe. And we'll just square that for now. So then we could pop seam allowance on this, but we would probably want to think about another 0.5 centimetre each side, and just giving the pocket flap an angle as well. And then that means we can really think about the style as well. So if we find the halfway point, we could even think about giving the flap an angle where we could put a buttonhole, and there could be a button on the flap. So we get something like that. And we might put seam allowance on at 0.5 centimetre, but we would probably put seam allowance on at 1 centimetre, depending if we want to trim it down when we're manufacturing it or keep that in. So we could end up with a pattern piece like that. But this shape could be anything that you want. The key take-home piece of information from that is it needs to be bigger than the pocket mouth for it to really give it good coverage. And an angle is really good for that as well. So that's the basic principles of a Bellows pocket and there are different styles, different designs. You can also do things where you don't do the corners on the edge, and that's much more square, like a box.